Okay, I still have 9 a.m., and so I'd like to call to order the teleconference meeting of the Building and Operating Committee of Thursday, 23rd September 2021. Before we begin, please note this meeting is being recorded. Madam Secretary, the roll, please.
Thank you, and good morning, everyone. Starting with Director Cochran.
Here.
Director Frederick. Thank you. Director Hernandez is absent. Director Maston.
Here.
Director Rabbit.
Here.
Vice Chair Garbarino.
Here.
Chair Terrio.
Here.
And President Parr.
Here.
Thank you. Also on the line, we have Directors Grosboll, Director Hill, and Director Snyder. So you are currently a committee of the whole.
Thank you.
On the line, we also have Dennis Mulligan.
Good morning.
Joe Wire.
Yes.
Ava Bauer-Furbish.
Present.
Kim Manolius.
Good morning.
Steve Miller.
Here, good morning.
Great, thank you. Mona Babauta.
Present.
Jim Swindler.
Present.
Kelly Opper.
Good morning.
Good morning. Great. That confirms staff on the line.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. I was hearing a fair amount of rustling and creaking and scraping just a few moments ago, so I'd like to remind everyone, please mute your phones until after the staff's presentation, and remember to unmute when we open up for director's discussion. After the staff's presentation, I'll ask for any comments and/or questions on the item, and if there are questions, the Secretary or I will call on you. After the discussion, we'll ask for any public comment before moving along. Please follow along by referring to the page numbers located on the bottom right-hand corner of your meeting packet. We'll start with item number 3, to authorize the setting of a public hearing to receive public comment on the recommended actions included in the bicycle safety study for the Golden Gate Bridge. Staff report starts on page 3, and Deputy General Manager of the Bridge Division, Steve Miller, is here to present. Mr. Miller, take it away.
Good morning, Chair Therio. Thank you, and members of the committee. The item before you is a request to set a public hearing to seek public comment and input regarding the safety recommendations that arose from our work on the bicycle safety study for the Golden Gate Bridge. As a transportation agency, our stated goals include maximizing utility of alternative modes of transportation, but at the same time, we have a duty to keep a keen eye and focus on the safety of all of those who use our bridge for transportation, recreation, and tourism. As the environment and technology advances and things change out there, it's important to occasionally revisit and review our usage and safety policies. And that's precisely what we did beginning in late 2019 and throughout the year of 2020, and the process continues. Primary product of that early work was the October 2020 bicycle safety study for the Golden Gate Bridge. And that study was, if you recall, was presented to this committee at its February 2021 meeting. That staff report and a copy of the study are included in your packet for reference. If you recall, the study was a collaboration between district staff and our independent consulting group, Alta Planning Plus Design, to gather data and observation on current bridge sidewalk conditions and seek opportunities to increase bicycle and pedestrian safety, while at the same time ensuring that we don't impinge on the utility and accommodation of bicycles on the bridge for commute and recreational travel. So as we discussed in February, that initial work resulted in a slate of recommendations that included recommended speed limits on the bridge sidewalks, signage and pavement marking plans for the bridge sidewalks and approaches, recommended provisions allowing electric bicycle usage on the bridge, and then recommendations regarding the restrictions on other user groups and devices on the bridge. Since presenting that initial work to this committee in February, we've continued to engage with stakeholders and are now conducting a more formal public outreach process. So far, I'm happy to report that the outreach has been quite fruitful, as we've gotten great suggestions for other things that we didn't consider in the safety study, those being things like the increased wind conditions on the west sidewalk due to the wind retrofit, and some really great suggestions regarding bicycle wayfinding schemes for signage, and some good suggestions for improving safety on those very narrow areas of the sidewalk that tend to result in more conflicts and incidents. So what we're doing at the moment is a web-based virtual open house, and that was originally scheduled to be live from Monday, September 27th through Friday, September 8th of 2021. We've decided to stretch that just a little bit because we got it ready early. So that's scheduled to go live later today on the web. And we will follow up with signage on the bridge sidewalks to alert our users and stakeholders to that opportunity. The open house is hosted by Alta, and it'll basically be a self-paced, self-guided tour of our findings and recommendations. And the goal is to seek direct public comment regarding those actions, and hopefully hear from folks who have other ideas and suggestions to improve safety out there on the sidewalks. So again, the open house will be live later today, and I hope you all have the opportunity to take a look. In addition, to supplement that live open house, Alta is going to help us host a live 1 to 2 hour web-based workshop, basically a sort of a virtual town hall, where we'll also present the study findings and recommendations and encourage participants to provide live feedback and ask questions in real time. This workshop is scheduled for October 6, 2021 at noon, and I would hope that anyone interested would join us for that. These events are already listed on our website. The outreach is begun. We're also using all our other communication channels in terms of social media and e-blast to advertise these outreach events. And we will also include outreach directly to the bicycle communities through the bicycle coalitions and the advisory committees. So the goal is to further refine the slate of recommendations and bring that back in a complete package for what we're asking for here today, which is a formal public hearing with the board of directors, and we're requesting that to be on Monday, October 18th at 10 a.m. So you will see the slate of recommendations, and you will also see some additional items and recommendations that hopefully will come out of this more formal public outreach process. So in terms of the formal public hearing, again, we'll use all communication channels available to us. The public will have the opportunity to attend the audio conference hearing live and offer comments. They'll also have the opportunity to comment by email through the district secretary's office, and they'll also have the opportunity to send written comments to the district secretary. Again, public notification through all the channels available to us. The required legal advertisements in local publications, including Marin Independent Journal, Sonoma County Press Democrat, La Vaz, and San Francisco Chronicle, along with press releases to the local media. Again, we'll engage also our social media channels and email blasts to get the word out and hopefully get maximum participation in that formal public hearing process. So next steps, our plan is, once we've completed the outreach process, is to revisit and revise our bicycle safety study one last time to include all of the input and insight that we gain through the public outreach process, and then come back with a fully refined slate of recommendations to the board for board action at a future date. Fiscal Impact, we have spent a little money with our consultant, but that was included in the Bridge District's normal budget for 1920 or 2021 and 21-22, and some staff time for the engagement process. So with that, I would happy to entertain any questions.
All right, thank you, Mr. Miller. Are there any board members who have questions or comments for Mr. Miller?
I have a question, Steve.
Yes, please go ahead, Director Cochran.
How do you handle the violators? I mean, what do you do to them if some guy's zipping along at 18, 19 miles an hour when the speed limit's 15? What do you do?
Well, certainly our intention here isn't to, create a speed trap, Director Cochran, but, the hope is that, most folks will abide, or at least be mindful of the speed restrictions, and that's our hope. This, however, by using a formal hearing process and also, engaging in what was essentially a formal speed study that was included in the safety study and sort of an engineering and traffic survey. This will be an enforceable speed limit, and the board of directors has the jurisdiction to set the speed limit. And then in addition, we've gone through a formal public process in setting that speed limit, so it will be enforceable. The California Highway Patrol can cite under the Streets and Highways Code for the speed limit. I'm hoping that never happens, but that is a possibility.
Well, yeah, I'm just kind of curious because sometimes when I'm coming to the bridge off Lincoln Avenue, some of those guys come flying around there at 20, 25 miles an hour at least, and I'm just kind of curious what do you do? So,
yeah, I mean, anyway. I can envision a time where if, one thing we've done is added more of the speed monitoring signs. So, we have it at our fingertips to have a really good idea of what's going on out there in terms of speed. And certainly I've collaborated with our partners at the California Highway Patrol to discuss this issue. And they have committed to, if necessary, to come out and use LiDAR and enforce that speed limit. So that is an option available to us if we feel like that's necessary to get things under control.
Okay. Thank you, Steve.
This is Bert. I have comments. Questions or comments for Mr. Miller?
This is Bert. I have a comment.
Go ahead, please. Go ahead, Director Hill.
Thank you. This is very thorough town hall meeting basis reviews. I'm really impressed to the degree that we're going ahead and listening from all aspects of the public. You've done a wonderful job on this. I will still comment as I've commented before. I have a concern about the use of 2015 data as the original basis, and this process should be able to bring us up to date on the radical changes that have occurred since 2015, not only in the volume, but the types of active transportation that many of the people in the city use right now. So I'm really encouraged by the way you're doing a very thorough review and not putting all the conclusions associated with that study. So thank you.
If I may, this is Dennis. Thank you, Director Hill, for bringing up alternative transportation modes. At this time, staff is not recommending that we add to the mix on the sidewalks with these alternative transportation modes. But at some future date, we can revisit the issue as we do periodically once there's peer-reviewed safety data available. The most recent study conducted by the University of California, San Francisco, that UCSF study, found scooter accidents produced head injuries at more than twice the rate of head injuries to bicyclists. So, at this juncture, we're not recommending any changes. We'll hear from the public, but the whole point of this is to allow enhanced mobility while addressing safety concerns, and safety is paramount here. So that's why at this juncture, staff is not recommending it. But like I said, we would revisit this periodically.
Yeah, yes, I understand that, and that's why I'm so encouraged by the public process that you're announcing today.
Thank you, Director Hill.
Thank you for the comments, sir.
Director Maston, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead, Director Maston.
Yeah. So I believe this was brought up when we initially saw the study, but I thought I'd ask it again. So will the use of disability scooters be specifically addressed, or are they allowed due to ADA? Because I notice it says scooters are disallowed.
Currently, disability mobility devices are allowed, and if someone's in a wheelchair or a mobility scooter, we don't bother them out there on the sidewalk. We let them enjoy their visit.
Yeah, since it wasn't specifically stated, although it did say scooters are not allowed, whether that might be an issue for somebody, but okay, thank you.
And that's a great observation, and we'll take a look at that as because a board action here will result in some new language in the master ordinance for some of these items, and perhaps that's a good opportunity to address that issue. That's a great suggestion, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Are there other directors who have comments or questions for Mr. Miller? Then, Madam Secretary, do we have anybody from the public who wants to talk about this? And I will remind members of the public that this is not the actual hearing on the eventual plan, but that's in the future. This is just to establish a hearing on the eventual plan.
We have no speakers on this item, so apparently they like everything they're hearing and they want to move forward.
Okay. So I would then be looking for a motion to authorize the setting of a public hearing to receive public comment Monday, 18th October at 10 a.m. On the recommended actions included in the bicycle safety study for the Golden Gate Bridge. Do I have that motion?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
I'll second.
There's a motion in a couple seconds. Madam Secretary, do you have those?
I have those.
Okay. Then let's proceed to a roll call vote.
Thank you. We're voting on item number 3 with the first from Director Maston and the second from Director Frederick, starting with Director Arnold. Absent Director Conroy. Absent Director Fredericks.
Yes.
Yes. Director Garbarino.
Yes.
Director Giudice. Absent. Director Grosboll.
Yes.
Thank you. Director Hernandez. Absent. Director Hill.
Yes.
Director Maston.
Aye.
Director Melgar. Absent. Director Rabbit.
Aye.
Director Rodoni. Absent. Director Snyder.
Yes. Aye.
Thank you. Director Stephanie. Absent. Second Vice President Cochran.
Yes.
First Vice President Terrio.
Yes.
And President Barr.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. That motion passes.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. So that brings us to item 4 on the agenda, which is a status report from board appointees on the Sonoma Marin Area Rail Transit Board. Director Garbarino, I think you're up first. So do you have a report for us?
Thank you very much. Yes, my report will include talking a bit about the rumor, perhaps stronger than a rumor, but about the potential for coal being shipped from Utah and Montana. The general manager's search update and the collaboration, wonderful collaboration between Dennis, the bridge, Farhad, and the SMART staff on getting matches to the train and the ferry. So Farhad and staff at SMART were alerted to the fact that there were pieces of information, though no proposal, no formal proposal or contact had been made to the SMART staff with respect to the use of freight lines to ship coal from, again, Montana and Utah via Highway 37 eventually on the SMART freight line to the port of Humboldt and then off to the Pacific Rim. while we have to comply with federal rules and regulations, we certainly were pretty vociferous as a board about our concern that may potentially take place. So we'll keep you apprised, keep the public apprised of whatever is heard, and deal with it when there, again, is a proposal brought forward or contact. On the 10th of September, the board had the opportunity to interview 3 wonderful candidates to, sadly, unfortunately, replace Farhad in his role as general manager of SMART. And we're currently in negotiations with the leading candidate. And I think all of us left that meeting feeling very satisfied with A, the process, and B, with the candidate that we were targeting. And again, the chagrin around the fact that we are looking at somebody to take Farhad's place at this time. Finally, in speaking with Farhad, he spoke very highly of, and I'm sure, Dennis, you would agree, that the information, getting the information out in the campaign around matching the renewed use of SMART by matching the trains to the ferry schedules is working out very well, and again, a great example of collaboration. It was a rather short meeting for us on the 15th of September, and that's my report. I'm imagining that colleagues have other items to contribute, but I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Director Garbarino. Are there directors with questions for Director Garbarino? Hearing none, I will ask President Parr if she has anything she wanted to say to supplement Director Garbarino's report.
Those were exactly my points. That was well done. Thank you, Patty.
Welcome.
Thank you, Director Garbarino. Thank you, Director Parr, President Parr. Is Director Rabbit on the line yet?
I am.
Did you have anything you wanted to add?
I could only add that we were successful in getting through our negotiation phase, so the announcement will be made on the new general manager on the October 20th SMART Board meeting, with a start probably on or around the last week of November, first week of December.
Thank you. Thank you, Director Rabbit. Do any directors have additional questions then for Directors Garbarino, Rabbit, and President Parr? Hearing none, this is, well, we have public comment potentially still. Madam Secretary, is there anyone from the public who wants to talk about this?
No, we have no one on the line wishing to talk about this.
Okay. So that will do it for item number 4, and we'll go to item number 5, which is Ms. Bauer-Furbush's report on engineering projects, status report of engineering projects. Ms. Bauer-Furbush, would you please proceed?
Mr. Chair, members of the committee, my written report is before you, and I'll be happy to answer any question you may have for me.
Thank you, Ms. Bauer-Furbush. Are there directors with questions for Ms. Bauer-Furbush? Hearing none, then I'll ask again. Is there anyone from the public who wants to talk on item number 5? Or, for that matter, item number 6, public comment more generally? Yeah.
Thank you. We have no speakers under item number 5 or for public comment for this meeting.
Okay. Well, that is that for that then. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
There's one. And a second.
Second.
And a couple of seconds. So I'll give you a second to object. And if there's no objection, hearing none, we're adjourned. Thank you, Madam Secretary. The time is 9:24 a.m.